I'm Gary Martin, one of the PGA pros from Huddersfield Golf Club, and today's our favourite day of the week. It's Rules with Jules. How are you, Jules?
Afternoon, yeah, I'm winning, mate. You?
Yeah.
Beautiful weather for the winter.
We've been looking forward to this one, haven't we?
We have, yeah. We're at Dems Golf Club today. Spent a lot of our junior years over here, haven't we?
Yeah, so Tinsley were, of course, I played as a junior, and it must be 4 or 5 years since I've been back here. So I'm looking forward to having a little bit of a walk around, actually, and to see if there's any changes. Yeah. Do you know what? I wouldn't mind coming here for a game, actually, when we come out of lockdown.
It's probably been 6.5 years since I've played
get
here.
Get you on trolley light, have a good walk round, and
yeah,
we'll definitely do that, actually. So yeah, we had some good comments as well, haven't we?
Brilliant, yeah.
So we're going to try and address these comments today. We really do want to make it interactive. You know, I think that's the kind of key to this, isn't it?
And it has been.
It has been, yeah, it has. It's been really good. So, should we crack on?
Yeah, let's do it.
So first things first, we're going to address a comment from Nigel.
Yeah, it was funny, this one, I have to admit. So it's referring to your double hit rule from last week. It said poor attempt at the double hit. I can give lessons if required.
So we're going to have another go at this, guys, and yeah, get in comments. Let me know. Do I need to DM him on this one?
Look, so Gaz has just asked me off camera a very serious question to me. Jules, how do you hit a double hit?
It's not one I practice that much, to be honest.
I think, looking at this, Gaz, you might be requesting the services of Nigel.
Yeah, Nigel, if you could drop your number in DMs, please. So just on the subject of speed of play, we've had a great sort of comment from Tommy Thatcher. Do you want to read that one out? Yeah, well, it's quite a long sort of paragraph, but I'll shorten it. So ultimately, he's had a really bad experience out on a golf course in terms of speed of play. The group in front of him spent around 20 minutes looking for the golf ball, just oblivious to him and his playing partners, never waved them through. Yeah, do you want to elaborate on that? Yeah, so it sounds like that, you know, them guys were in a perfect position to wave Tommy and his playing partner through, you know, so that they could carry on with playing. They haven't. And he mentioned about marshals, didn't he? Oh yeah. He mentioned that it's a shame that golf clubs in the UK don't have marshals. Now, I think if you're playing UK, or you know, or wherever you may be playing in the world, if the course doesn't have marshals, you know, the pro staff and the people, you know, managing the shop are as keen as you for speed of play. You know, we want our guests to really enjoy the round of golf, and we don't want them to remember the day for sort of pace of play. So it's really important, if you're in that situation, that don't get into a confrontation with the group in front, but just give the pro shop a ring or give the clubhouse a ring. And quite often or not, you know, we'll get out there and we'll sort of, you know, if there's gaps in play, I think it's a lot better coming from the staff, you know, or a member of staff, just to sort of, you know, make the players aware that they're losing ground, and you know, to sort of wave groups through where they can, and then, you know, it avoids you getting in confrontation, and obviously, you know, it helps you enjoy your day, and it helps us, you know, keep the pace of play moving. We've just been reading through some of the sort of questions from last week, and there's been a few really good questions about the embedded ball rule. We didn't really realise how sort of broad of a subject it was, and there's been some really fantastic questions. We've had one from one of the subscribers, David Simmons, haven't we, guys? Yeah, we feel like we just need to elaborate on this subject a little bit more, so we're going to just play out a couple of these questions. David said, in order to get a relief, does the ball have to embed in its own pitch mark, or if it rolled into an existing pitch mark or, you know, an indentation in the ground, would you get a free relief from that? And that's what we're going to elaborate on, aren't we? Good question, yeah. Good question. So just to give you an example, guys, I've hit a tee shot on a par 4, hit a long iron. It was quite a low runny ball flight. Unfortunately, I've got to the ball. It looked to be in like an indentation mark, but it's not one. It is underneath the surface. So it does fit the definition of an embedded ball. However, the definition does state that it has to be embedded by the shot. So it has to be your shot that's made the mark. So in these circumstances, you wouldn't get a free relief, unfortunately. And Jules mentioned a little bit earlier, it'd be like landing in a divot, for example. It's just really unfortunate. And I guess it's another one of them rules that sucks in golf. What do you think about that, Jules? Well, like you've just mentioned, Gaz, it probably seems a little bit harsh, but sometimes them rules are there, and you know, you feel like you've been a little bit hard done by, but unfortunately, the summary of it all is Dems the Rules. So another question on this subject we had from Niall, which again, you know, you'll have all been in this case, or you've had a playing partner be in this case. Do you want to read it out, Jules?
Yeah. So Niall O'Connor, and he says this has happened to him a few times. That he's hit a shot, he's seen the area in which it's gone, come down to go and find the ball and to play his next shot, and he can't find it. But he knows the area it was in, but it's obviously embedded that much that he can't physically find it.
Let's have a look into this one, guys. So just to give you an example of Niall's question, a fantastic tee shot. We've got a bit of a bank in here. We saw it land. You know, it definitely landed in this area, and it's just disappeared. It's gone. It's lost the ball.
It's a boggy area, isn't it? Really wet.
It's a bit boggy, yeah, and we just can't find it. So Jules, what's rules on that one?
Gaz, short and sweet, mate. You've got 3 minutes to find your ball, otherwise it's deemed as lost. You're going to have to go back and hit it from where you hit it from. Not probably the answer you want to hear, but unfortunately, Dems the rules.
We've had an absolute belter of a question here, and one that when we looked into the rule, I was very, very surprised. Phil Mellor.
Yeah, good question. So, is there a rule that prevents a player standing directly behind you when putting?
So, you know, my understanding of that, and you know, I'm going to be honest with you, and I guess some people might share this understanding. I were always brought up with the understanding that you could stand behind the ball if you was a partner of someone. So if you're playing in a pairs event and your partner were going to make a putt, you could stand behind the ball to sort of learn from his putt because you're a team. But I was under the understanding that you couldn't stand behind the ball if it was one of your opponents. You know, you couldn't learn from their putt if you stand behind their ball. So we're going to have a look at that one.
Oh, Gaz, that's putting me off that now. Sorry. Did you have to look at me live? Sorry about that. Gaz, you're doing it again, mate. You're looking at me line, it's putting me off.
So Jules, is there actually a rule to stop your playing partner or prevent your playing partner from standing behind you?
I'm amazed at this, Gaz, but no there isn't. We've all been there before, haven't we, where someone's putting you off a little bit by trying to gain an advantage from standing behind you to see what the line is of your putt. But there isn't a rule there. Yeah, it is bad etiquette, and you know, it's not science rocket really, is it? Get out of your playing partner's way. Don't put them off. They might be having a really good round. If you want to gain an advantage, wait till they've actually struck the putt, then come round and have a look at that line. But yeah, the actual answer to here is no, there isn't a rule there. But be mindful of your playing partners.
So we're going to talk about a ball landing up against a boundary wall or a boundary fence. Okay, as an example, I'm a right-handed golfer. I've teed off. The ball's come to lie right up by the fence, and I can barely make a stroke. You know, I need to advance the ball this way. I can barely make a swing. All right. So in this situation, you've got a few options. You can try and play the ball as it lies, but you have to still make a stroke at the ball. All right. So if you were to try to sort of push it out, or you know, you don't make an actual genuine stroke, you try to sort of, you know, push it back into play, you would incur a 2-shot penalty. If you are going to attempt to play this, you need to make sure that you can get, you know, a reasonable backswing and make a proper stroke at the ball. Now, your other options, you can take a penalty relief, so you can take a 1-shot penalty, which would be a 2 club length relief away from the boundary fence, so you can make a full swing. Your option is you could go back to the place that you hit it from, again taking a shot penalty, or your final option, it's not an option in this case, but you can go where the ball is, you can go back on line in relation to where the flag is and the ball, but unfortunately in this situation it would take you out of bounds, so that wouldn't be an option for us. So they're your free options when you come up against a boundary wall or a boundary fence. So we've had a great question from Peter Osgood, and it's to elaborate on an immovable object. He had a sort of really genuine question, so just demonstrate that is an immovable object. All right, so that's going to interfere with our next shot, and we're going to demonstrate why, and just clarify on Peter's question really, or elaborate. So Peter's question is if the ball is preventing you from propelling the ball forward and towards the target, could your playing partners argue that you could make an actual swing and chip the ball out sideways? All right, but in the rules, if you're trying to play the stroke, you know, as a right-hander, so you're trying to play a right stroke, if the immovable object interferes with a swing, you are entitled to a free relief. I hope that clears that one up for you, Peter.
Guys, you're not going to believe this. Gaz has snapped up one off T, and you will not believe where it's finished up.
So I've landed on the top of what looks like, well, it looks like a bonfire, doesn't it?
It does.
So it's quite clear to see that, you know, greenkeepers have been tidying up this area here, and this is a pile of rubbish that's, you know, it's quite obvious to see that it's been put here purposely. So it's not just a natural collection of trees or a natural collection of branches and rubbish. And we're going to do something a bit differently here. We're going to ask you, you know, what are my options on this? So guys, get in comments, let us know your options, and we're going to pick out a couple, aren't we, and we'll discuss them next week.
Yeah, good topic for next week.
So just to conclude, guys, we're really enjoying your questions and we're really enjoying answering them, aren't we? Brilliant,
yeah, really good. Obviously we've chucked one out there for you next week. Might seem a little bit extreme, but you know, it'll more than likely something like this will happen to you in the future on a much smaller scale. So what I would recommend is get onto the RNA website or get that RNA book and make sure you're doing it correctly.
See you next week.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.